Ever felt lost in your own thoughts, like your mind is a crowded room with no exit? What if a single daily habit could turn that chaos into calm and help you see yourself clearly? The Stoics believed writing wasn't just communication. It was transformation. Welcome to modern Stoic life, where ancient wisdom meets our daily challenges. Today, we're diving into something deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful: journaling. But not the Dear Diary kind. The Stoics weren't writing to record events. They were writing to reshape their minds, to practice clarity, courage, justice, and temperance, to argue with themselves before the world argued with them. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations wasn't meant for anyone else's eyes. It was his training ground, his laboratory for the soul. Today, we'll explore 5 life-changing journaling habits the Stoics practice daily. Habits that can help you see your life more clearly, make better choices, and build true inner strength. So grab a notebook, or at least a moment of stillness, and let's begin the journey inward. Habit 1. Morning intention setting before you scroll, before the world shouts its demands. The Stoics believed you should choose how you'll show up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Not because he was pessimistic, but because he wanted to be prepared. Morning journaling isn't about predicting negativity. It's about setting intention. You write, "What virtues will I practice today? Where might I be tested? How will I respond to challenge?" This habit turns you from a passenger to a pilot of your day. Imagine opening your notebook and writing, "Today, I will choose patience over anger. Today, I will listen before reacting. Today, I will remember what is in my control." It's not magic, but it is mindset. Habit 2. Anticipating adversity. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Sound grim? It's not. It's preparation. When you journal about what could go wrong, you remove its power to shock you. You write, "If I lose the deal today, how will I remain calm? If someone insults me, how will I choose dignity over rage? If plans fall apart, how will I adapt?" This isn't worry, it's strategy. Seneca advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." Imagine entering the day like a general who has rehearsed every attack. Your journal becomes your war room, where you prepare not to control events, but to control your response. This habit reduces anxiety because you've already met your fears on paper. Habit 3. Self-examination at night. The Stoics believed that living without examination was the greatest danger. At day's end, they'd sit down and review. Where did I do well? Where did I fall short? Seneca recommended asking, what did I do? What did I try to do? What duties left undone? Not to punish yourself, but to train yourself. This nightly journaling is like watching game tape after practice. It's not judgment, it's learning. Marcus Aurelius would challenge himself to do better tomorrow. When you do this nightly, you see patterns emerge. You see the real work you need to do, not the work you wish you were doing. And that awareness is the first step toward change. Habit 4. Philosophical reflection. The Stoics used journaling to chew on big questions. They didn't want to just live, they wanted to live well. A philosophical journaling session might ask, what does it mean to live with integrity? What would I do if I weren't afraid? What is truly within my control? This isn't fluffy journaling. It's deep work. It makes you uncomfortable, and that's the point. You confront your contradictions. You test your beliefs. You make sure your actions align with your values. The Stoic journal was a forge where the raw iron of thought was hammered into the steel of virtue. Habit 5. Gratitude with clarity finally. Gratitude wasn't just a trendy word for the Stoics. It was survival. They understood that even in hardship, there's something to appreciate. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself to see beauty even in the obstacles. In your journal, gratitude means writing. What did I learn today, even from pain? Who helped me today, even in small ways? What simple thing brought me joy? But the Stoic version of gratitude isn't naive. It's not ignoring pain. It's seeing through it, finding the seed of good in the soil of struggle. This habit trains you to see reality, not just what's easy. Closing reflection, page 1 end. Journaling for the Stoics wasn't therapy on paper. It was strategy. It was rehearsal for virtue. A daily conversation with themselves. The goal wasn't perfection. It was progress earned one honest page at a time. So as you think about picking up this habit, remember, you're not just writing words. You're shaping the person who will live them. That's the promise of Stoic journaling. That's the invitation. So what will you write today? Now that we've explored these 5 powerful habits, let's dig deeper. On page 2, we'll break down the practical steps to start your own Stoic journaling practice and how to make it stick, even on the busiest days. Ready to keep going? Excellent. Let's continue in the same polished, podcast-ready style, designed for 15-plus listeners, with clear CapCut-friendly pacing, semicolons, colons, line breaks with dashes, around 700 to 1,000 words. Here's page 2 of your script for 5 life-changing journaling habits from the Stoics. Modern Stoic life. On page 1, we uncovered 5 powerful habits the Stoics used to turn journaling into a daily training ground. From morning intention setting to gratitude with clarity. But theory is only half the journey. The real question is, how do you start? How do you make these practices stick so they don't end up as another forgotten resolution? Today, we'll lay out the blueprint. A simple, clear, and proven approach to making Stoic journaling part of your daily rhythm. 1 page at a time, 1 choice at a time. Step 1. Choose your space and time. The Stoics believed discipline was architecture for the mind. Your journal practice needs a place and a time, so your mind knows when it's time to reflect. Marcus Aurelius wrote in quiet moments before dawn. You might choose early mornings, lunch breaks, or evenings. It doesn't matter when. It matters that you do it. Pick a space where you won't be interrupted. A corner of your room, a coffee shop booth, even your parked car before work. Make it your sanctuary of thought. Step 2. Keep it simple. The Stoics didn't write essays for show. Their words were raw, honest, direct. Your journal doesn't need fancy prompts or expensive leather covers. A cheap notebook works fine. So does a digital note. Simplicity keeps the focus on thinking, not aesthetics. Tell yourself, oh, this is for me. Oh, not for likes. Oh, not for legacy. Oh, just for clarity. That mindset is freedom. Step 3. Use anchoring questions. A wandering mind needs a compass. The Stoics loved questions. They forced self-examination. Use these as daily anchors. Oh, what virtue will I practice today? Oh, where am I avoiding discomfort? Oh, what did I learn from today's challenges? Oh, where did I lose my temper or keep it? Oh, what can I do better tomorrow? These aren't punishments, they're guidance. They turn blank pages into maps for growth. Step 4. Embrace honesty over perfection. Seneca advised us to be our own harshest critic, but also our own teacher. Your journal isn't a highlight reel. It's an unfiltered mirror. Don't write what sounds wise. Write what's true, even if it's ugly, especially if it's ugly. Confess your fears, your anger, your failures, because without honesty, there's no progress. Remember, oh, the Stoics didn't fear their flaws. Oh, they studied them. Step 5. Make it a ritual, not a chore. Ever notice how brushing your teeth feels automatic? That's the power of ritual. Your journal can be the same. Ritual is what carries you on the days you don't feel like writing. Light a candle. Make tea. Take 3 deep breaths. Signal to your mind, now. We reflect. Over time, these cues become sacred. They turn a blank page from an obligation into an invitation. Because journaling shouldn't feel like homework. It should feel like coming home to yourself. Step 6. Practice voluntary discomfort in writing. The Stoics trained for adversity. Your journal is the perfect place to do the same. Write the scenario you fear most. Oh, losing the job. Oh, failing the exam. Oh, getting rejected. Ask, oh, how would I handle it? Oh, what would I say to myself? Oh, what virtue would I call on? This exercise isn't pessimism, it's preparation. By imagining hardship now, you reduce its sting later. You teach your mind resilience on paper so you can live it in reality. Step 7. Reflect, don't ruminate. Reflection is asking, what can I learn? Rumination is asking, why am I so terrible? Your journal isn't a place to wallow, it's a place to grow. When you catch yourself spiraling, pause. Gently redirect. Oh, what does this teach me? Oh, how can I choose better tomorrow? This is how you turn pain into wisdom. Step 8. Use the wisdom of the ancients. The Stoics didn't just write, they read. Marcus Aurelius quoted Epictetus in his own reflections. Seneca studied philosophers he disagreed with. Add this layer to your practice. Copy a quote that hits home. Respond to it in your own words. Ask yourself, oh, do I live this truth? Oh, it stops me. Your journal becomes a dialogue across centuries. A classroom where the teachers never die. Building a Stoic journaling practice isn't about checking boxes. It's about building yourself. A stronger mind, a clearer heart, a more resilient spirit. These daily pages won't make life easier, but they will make you better equipped to face it, not as a victim of circumstance, but as its student. So when you pick up that pen, remember, you're not just writing today's worries, you're crafting tomorrow's wisdom. Now that you have the tools. To begin, let's talk about something deeper. On page 3, we'll explore how journaling becomes a conversation with the self, a way to catch your own thinking errors, challenge your assumptions, and grow in honesty. Ready to take the next step? On page 2, we laid the groundwork for a personal Stoic journaling practice. From choosing a time and place to crafting daily questions and embracing honesty. But let's get even closer now. Let's talk about what happens once the pen hits the page, because your journal isn't just a log of events. It's a mirror, a place to see yourself clearly, to talk back to your thoughts. and sometimes to argue with them. That's where real change happens. Why the Stoics wrote to themselves Marcus Aurelius Meditations was just that, a private meditation. He wasn't writing to impress anyone. He was writing to examine himself. 2. Remind himself of what he already knew but kept forgetting. He called out his own hypocrisy. He challenged his anger. He questioned his fear, because he knew the mind is slippery. It justifies. It hides. It forgets. Writing pins it down. The art of self-interrogation journal, the Stoic way, isn't just venting. It's questioning, like a cross-examination of your own mind. Ask yourself, why? Did I react that way? Was that fear speaking or wisdom? Did I live my values or betray them? What story am I telling myself, and is it true? This isn't about self-loathing, it's about self-clarity. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Your journal is where you separate fear from fact. Noticing cognitive biases. The Stoics were early psychologists in many ways. They noticed how easily emotion distorts thought. Your journal can help catch these distortions. Catastrophizing. If I fail this, everything is ruined. Mind reading. They hate me, I just know it. Emotional reasoning. I feel scared, so it must be dangerous. When you see these on the page, they lose power. You can answer them, challenge them. Replace them with calmer, clearer thoughts. Writing. As emotional processing, emotions unspoken tend to grow, but emotions explored tend to soften. Your journal is a safe container. Angry? Don't suppress it, write it. Afraid? Don't deny it, describe it. Grieving? Don't rush past it, sit with it on the page. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of death, not to be morbid, but to stay present. The Stoics believed that by naming your emotions, you tame them. Writing letters to yourself, another Stoic-inspired technique. Write a letter to yourself as if you're your own best friend or your own teacher. For example, I see you're scared right now. That's okay. Here's what you can focus on. You're angry, but you're better than this. Breathe. Wait. Choose better. You want to quit? Remember why you started. Remember your strength. This is self-compassion with backbone. It's not indulgent, it's instructive. Confronting mortality on the page. The Stoics practiced memento mori. Remember you will die. Not to scare themselves, but to sharpen life's urgency. Journaling about mortality can shift your priorities fast. Ask, if today were my last, would I be proud of how I lived? What would truly matter? What nonsense would I let go? Marcus wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't macabre, it's clarifying. Daily self-assessment. Stoics didn't just reflect once in a while, they did it daily. Seneca describes ending each day by reviewing his actions, not with cruelty, but with accountability. You can do the same. Before bed, ask, where did I live with virtue today? Where did I slip? How can I do better tomorrow? It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Day after day, these small corrections steer you closer to your ideals. Turning insight into action. The Stoics were practical. Knowledge without action was nothing to them. Your journal shouldn't just diagnose, it should prescribe. End each entry with one small action you'll take. Example, tomorrow I'll listen fully before replying. I'll pause before judging. I'll speak truthfully even if it's hard. This is philosophy in motion. The journal is your private dojo, a place to spar with your worst instincts and cultivate your best, a place to see your thoughts not as commands, but as questions, as possibilities, as raw material for something better. The Stoics didn't pretend they were flawless. They simply refused to remain blind to their flaws. And in that daily practice, they grew strong, calm, clear. Your journal can be the same for you. On page 4, we'll move from introspection to application. How do you take what you learn on the page and bring it into your daily life? How do you live Stoicism not just as an idea, but as a way of being? Let's explore together. Page 4. Living what you write. Bringing Stoicism into daily life. On page 3, we explored the journal as a mirror, a space for honest self-talk, for unmasking fear, anger, grief, and desire. But Stoicism doesn't end on the page. The writing is preparation. The real test, how you live. The Stoics believed philosophy was practical. It wasn't for debates or decoration. It was for living well. The ultimate Stoic question. Is this in my control? Marcus Aurelius faced war, plague, betrayal, and kept asking himself, is this in my control? It's deceptively simple, but it's the foundation of Stoic calm. If it's in your control, act. If it isn't, release it. This question can guide any moment of your day. The rude driver out of your control. Your tone of voice in response within. Your control. The layoff at work out of your control. How you adapt next within your control. By writing this question daily, you train your mind to default to it. Morning prompts as anchors. A powerful way to live stoically is to begin each day with intention. The journal becomes a launching pad. What virtue do I want to embody today? Where might I be tested? How can I stay aligned with my values, even when it's hard? This isn't fantasy. It's mental rehearsal. The Stoics knew if you expect adversity, you're not surprised by it. You meet it prepared. As Marcus wrote, you will meet people who are rude, deceitful, selfish. Remember this in advance, so you are not shocked when it happens. Journaling for conversation prep. The Stoics believed words matter. They practiced clarity in speech. Your journal can help you rehearse tough talks. Before a difficult conversation, write, what do I really want to say? How can I say it with truth, but also respect? What would my best self choose here? This turns conflict from chaos into craft. You don't have to blurt out the first reaction. You can respond with thought, with principle. Applying daily reflection. Stoicism isn't theory. It's applied ethics. At night after the day's challenges, your journal becomes your lab notes. Ask, where did I keep calm? Where did I lose it? How can I do better tomorrow? Don't scold yourself. Learn. This cycle of intention, action, reflection builds strength. Seneca said, no man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. Your journal helps you see where you're deceived so you can correct course. Emotional triggers. As teachers, modern life is full of triggers. Emails that ignite frustration. Headlines that provoke fear. Comments that sting pride. The Stoic practice isn't to deny emotion, but to transform it. Your journal can be your training ground. What triggered me today? Why did it bother me so much? Is my reaction aligned with my values? In this way, even anger becomes a teacher. Even fear becomes an opportunity to practice courage. The practice of negative visualization. The Stoics used a technique called Premeditatio malorum premeditation of evils. Each morning, they'd imagine obstacles. What if my plan fails? What if I lose what I love? What if I'm insulted? This wasn't pessimism. It was preparation. When you journal these scenarios, you rob them of their surprise. When they come, you're steady, not shocked. As Epictetus said, it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Writing as a rehearsal for death, memento mori, remember, you will die. The Stoics wrote about mortality daily, not to depress themselves, but to clarify life. In your journal, ask, if this were my last day, what would matter? What nonsense would I drop? How would I treat people? Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This perspective brings urgency to values. From reflection to action, journaling isn't an end, it's a means. Each entry should plant seeds for action. End with a commitment. Tomorrow, I'll pause before reacting. I'll speak truthfully even if it's hard. I'll let go of what I can't control. These are tiny steps, but taken daily, they transform a life. Your journal is a map. Your day is the journey. Stoicism lives not in the writing, but in the walking. In the choice to pause, to reflect, to act from principle. Not once, but again and again. Because change isn't loud, it's quiet, repeated effort. This is how the Stoics trained their minds. This is how you can too. On page 5, we'll dive even deeper into the emotional mastery Stoics practice daily. How to feel fully without being ruled. How to stand firm when emotions surge. Let's explore how to cultivate the inner calm that survives any storm. Page 5. Mastering emotion. The Stoic way to feel without being ruled. On page 4. We explored how Stoic journaling isn't just thinking. It's training. Training for action. FOR virtue for life. But what happens when emotion threatens to throw you off? When anger surges? When grief weighs you down? When anxiety tightens your chest? This page is for that moment. This is where Stoicism shines. The Stoic view of emotions. The Stoics never said, don't feel. They weren't robots. They felt everything. But they refused to be those feelings. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Emotions arise naturally, but they don't have to rule you. Anger, the test of temperance. Anger feels righteous. Like a flame that warms you, but burns everything else down. The Stoic practice isn't suppression, it's examination. Ask in your journal, why did this make me angry? Was my response helpful or just reactive? What would calm do? Here, Seneca called anger temporary madness. By naming it, writing it, you gain distance. And with distance, you choose better. Grief, the cost of love loss, comes for us all. The Stoics didn't hide from it. They prepared for it. Epictetus said, remind yourself that those you love are mortal. Your journal can hold these truths gently. What did I love about them? How can I honor them now? What memories keep them alive in me? Grief isn't weakness. It's proof of connection. The goal isn't to erase the pain, but to carry it with grace. Anxiety, the mind rushing ahead. Anxiety is worry about what hasn't happened. The Stoic antidote? Returning to now? Seneca wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. In your journal, ground yourself. What am I afraid of? What evidence do I have? What can I control right now? This transforms vague dread into manageable steps. Your breath becomes an anchor. Your words a map back to calm. The practice of observation. The Stoics believed awareness is the first freedom. When emotion rises, they practiced noticing it, without obeying it. Your journal becomes the training ground. I felt anger today. Why? I felt envy. What did it teach me about myself? I felt fear. What can I do about it? By writing it, you move from reaction to reflection, and reflection gives you choice. Daily emotional check-ins. I don't need crisis. To practice this, each evening ask, what emotions visited me today? How did I greet them? Where did I act from wisdom or impulse? This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Small daily insights build emotional fluency. The power of pause in Stoic practice. The pause is sacred. Between stimulus and response lies freedom. Writing creates that pause. It turns racing thoughts into clear sentences. It lets you see them, not be them. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Journaling prompts for emotional mastery. What triggered me today and why? Did I choose my response or did emotion choose it for me? How can I meet anger with patience? How can I sit with grief without drowning? What would wisdom do in this moment? These prompts don't suppress emotion. They clarify it. They make you its master, not its servant. Living what you learned. The Stoics didn't want you to stay on the page. They wanted you to bring the page to life. After journaling, act. Next time anger rises, breathe. Next time fear whispers, pause. Next time grief weighs you down, remember and honor. Stoicism isn't about cold detachment. It's about warm clarity, feeling fully without being ruled. Closing reflection. You don't control feelings arriving, but you control the invitation to stay. You can greet them as guests, learn from them, but choose who lives in your house. This is emotional mastery. Stoic promise. Thank you for walking this path with us. If even one phrase today brought you a moment of calm, a seed of reflection, welcome to this journey. We're just getting started. Subscribe to Modern Stoic Life for more explorations into ancient wisdom for modern challenges. Share this with someone who could use a breath of clarity. And until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, stay stoic.